Have you ever wondered why someone you care about, someone who clearly feels something for you, doesn't reach out? You might feel the tension, the longing, the desire, the emotional pull. Yet, despite all of this, he stays silent. It's a paradox, isn't it? If his feelings are so clear, why is he holding back? The answer lies in a deeper realm, far beyond the surface of daily life, interactions, and emotions. It exists in the unseen patterns of energy that govern how we interact with one another. When we understand these patterns, we not only unlock the reasons behind why someone behaves the way they do, but we also gain the tools to shift those patterns, for ourselves and the people around us. We will explore why the true reason someone may not reach out isn't as simple as you might think. It's not about love or lack thereof. It's about the energy patterns, past experiences, and unconscious emotional states that govern all of us. By understanding these principles, you can transform the way you relate to the world around you, and to the people who matter most. At the heart of our existence, everything is energy. It's the basis of everything around us, within us, and between us. The way you feel, the way others feel, the interactions we have, every single aspect of our reality is underpinned by energy. But not just any energy. It's an energy tied to deep, often hidden, patterns within our personal energy fields. To grasp the truth of how unseen forces shape our reality, we must first understand that we, as human beings, are energetic beings at our core. Each individual has an energy field, sometimes referred to as an aura, that acts as a mirror to their state of being. This field is not static but dynamic, constantly shifting, adapting, and responding to our emotions, thoughts, external circumstances, and even memories. The energy field encapsulates all the frequencies we emit, reflecting everything from our most intimate emotional states to our biological rhythms. In a sense, the energy field can be seen as a window into our subconscious, revealing not only our physical health but our emotional and mental state as well. This energy field is profoundly influenced by trauma and emotional experiences. Trauma, which we tend to think of as something that happened in the past, doesn't just live in our memories. It lives within us, deeply embedded in the fabric of our energy fields. These are not just abstract ideas or memories that fade with time. Instead, they are vibrational patterns, energetic imprints that continue to affect us long after the events have passed. Take a moment to think about a time in your life when you've experienced emotional pain or loss. That experience likely left an imprint on your energy field. Perhaps it manifested as an unease in your body, a sense of heaviness, or an unconscious behavior that repeated itself whenever you encountered similar emotions. These are patterns, and they are the energetic residue of emotional trauma. Trauma leaves a unique frequency within our energy fields. This frequency holds the memories of the event, but not in the form of detailed recollections or narrative. Rather, it carries the energetic signature of the emotion you felt, the fear, sadness, anger, or hurt that was experienced in that moment. These patterns, although unseen, shape how we interact with the world around us and how we relate to others. When we fail to address emotional wounds or unresolved experiences, the energy of those events continues to operate within our lives, often without our conscious awareness. These unresolved emotions can influence the decisions we make, the way we show up in relationships, and the patterns that repeat in our lives. For example, if someone has experienced abandonment or rejection, the energy of that trauma might cause them to distance themselves from intimacy, even when they desire connection. Or, they might unconsciously push others away because they are afraid of repeating the same painful experience. This is the root of much of our unconscious behavior. The energetic patterns from past traumas dictate how we feel, how we react, and ultimately how we live our lives. And they are often the hidden forces that influence the way we show up, especially in relationships. When he doesn't reach out, it may not have anything to do with how he feels about you. It may have everything to do with the emotional patterns trapped in his energy field. Even if his heart yearns for connection, the energy imprints of past experiences may be unconsciously blocking his ability to act in alignment with that desire. Now, let's take this concept a step further. To understand why these energetic patterns are so powerful and how they shape our reality, we must enter the realm of quantum physics. In the quantum field, the fundamental laws of time and space as we understand them do not exist in the same way. There is no past, present, or future, only the eternal now. This may seem abstract or difficult to grasp, but it is critical to understanding the deeper dynamics at play in your connection with him. If you consider the world we live in, we experience time as linear. We move from one moment to the next, and we categorize events as either past, present, or future. But in the quantum field, all of these categories collapse into one. Everything exists as an infinite possibility in the now. There is no separation between the past, present, and future. They all exist simultaneously in a state of potential. This means that the longing you feel, the distance you perceive between you and him, is not a fixed reality. It is a construct of your mind, shaped by the unconscious patterns and beliefs embedded in your energy field. And when you feel that separation, it is actually a manifestation of the energetic disconnect that exists in the quantum field. The moment you begin to think about the relationship, the longing, the desire, the unspoken tension, you are pulling on a thread in this quantum web of interconnected energy. But this is not just about you. It is also about him. His energy field, just like yours, is constantly interacting with the environment, with others, and with the emotional energy he holds within himself. If his energy field is out of alignment, if he is trapped in past emotional patterns, or if he has unresolved traumas of his own, his actions may be governed by those unconscious influences. This is why, even if he feels a deep desire to reach out, he might not. The patterns in his field, shaped by past experiences and unconscious beliefs, are what guide his behavior, often without his conscious awareness. The energy fields of two individuals are never static. They are constantly exchanging information. This exchange happens on a subconscious, energetic level, and it plays a crucial role in how we relate to one another. Think of it like a dance, an ongoing, dynamic interaction that is not limited by physical space. In relationships, especially those that are emotionally charged, the exchange of energy is constantly happening. You feel his energy and he feels yours. But sometimes, despite the best of intentions, those energies do not align in ways that allow for open communication or connection. For instance, you may feel the desire for him to reach out, to close the gap between the two of you, but his energy might not be in a place where it can respond to that desire. This is where unconscious emotional patterns can be at play. If his energy is stuck in past experiences, such as fear of vulnerability or unresolved issues related to past relationships, those patterns might prevent him from taking the action you wish for. In some cases, it's not that he doesn't care or isn't interested, it's that his energy field is in a state of resistance, influenced by deep-seated emotional imprints that dictate his behavior. This is where the power of intentionality comes into play. While we may not always have direct control over someone else's energy or actions, we do have the power to change the patterns in our own energy field. By becoming more aware of the emotional imprints we carry, we can begin to release those that no longer serve us, creating space for healthier patterns and connections to emerge. Intentional energy work, which involves becoming present with your feelings, identifying emotional blocks, and actively shifting your energetic frequency, can help release these old patterns. When you raise your vibration, align your energy, and clear out emotional debris from the past, you create a ripple effect that reaches beyond just you. It impacts everyone you come into contact with, including him. By shifting your own energy, you may help shift his energy as well. For example, if you've been holding on to feelings of anger or resentment, you are unconsciously transmitting those emotions into the energy field. By consciously choosing to release them and replace them with feelings of peace, love, and forgiveness, you begin to reprogram your own energy field. Over time, this shift in your energy may create a corresponding shift in his. And even if he doesn't immediately reach out, the act of transforming your energy can create an environment that fosters greater connection and alignment. The beauty of working with energy is that it allows us to influence the patterns in our lives in profound ways. As we mentioned earlier, the past, present, and future are all interconnected in the quantum field. In this space, Your energy can actually influence not only the present moment but also the memories of the past and the possibilities of the future. When you consciously release old emotional patterns or traumas, you are not just changing how you feel in the present. You are also shifting the energetic patterns in your past, rewriting the emotional imprints that were left there. This is why it's so powerful to work with your energy field intentionally. By healing and transforming your emotional state, you are changing the energetic makeup of your entire life, past, present, and future. The same applies to your relationship with him. By transforming your energy, you are not only affecting your present connection but also the energetic imprint of your past interactions and the potential for future ones. The more you become intentional about aligning your energy and releasing unconscious blocks, the more likely you are to see positive shifts in your external reality, including your relationships. In the intricate landscape of human behavior, one of the most profound insights that has emerged from both neuroscience and quantum physics is the powerful influence that our emotional states and unconscious habits have on the way we act. This insight isn't just theoretical, it's deeply rooted in the way our brain and body interact with the world. Emotions are not merely transient feelings that we experience in response to external events. They are deeply connected to the way our body functions, the way our energy fields operate, and the way we move through life. Every emotion, whether it's positive or negative, sends signals throughout our body. These signals are not just abstract thoughts. They are chemical, neurological, and energetic in nature. When we feel joy, excitement, love, or even fear, our brain releases specific neurotransmitters that trigger a cascade of reactions throughout our body. Our heart rate increases or decreases, our muscles tense or relax, and our body enters a heightened state of awareness, prepared to act based on the emotions we are experiencing. These signals are more than just physical responses. They influence the energy in our field, which in turn shapes how we interact with the world. The human body is not just a collection of tissues and organs. It's an energetic system that emits a frequency. Every emotion we feel, every thought we think, and every experience we undergo leaves an imprint on this energy field, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. The energy we emit can attract similar frequencies from the environment, meaning that the emotional states we inhabit can influence the situations and people we encounter. Take, for example, the emotion of anger. When you feel anger, it triggers a series of physiological responses. Your body releases adrenaline, your heart rate increases, and your muscles prepare for action. This creates a specific energy frequency within your field. That frequency may attract more situations or people that trigger similar emotions, further reinforcing the feeling of anger or frustration. Over time, this cycle can create habitual emotional responses, which perpetuate themselves and influence the patterns in your life. One of the most significant ways emotions shape our reality is through unresolved trauma. When we experience trauma, whether it's a sudden loss, emotional abuse, betrayal, or any other deeply distressing experience, that trauma doesn't simply vanish over time. It gets stored in our energy fields, in our bodies, and in our unconscious mind. These stored emotional patterns act like a set of instructions for how we will react in future situations. Consider someone who has experienced betrayal in a past relationship. This person may have deep emotional wounds tied to feelings of abandonment or unworthiness. Even if they consciously want to open up to new relationships, their emotional body, and the energy field around them, may continue to emit the frequency of those past wounds. These lingering frequencies can cause them to shut down emotionally, unconsciously pushing others away or holding back from intimacy. When we encounter someone who seems distant or emotionally unavailable, it's often not a matter of them simply not caring or being indifferent. Instead, it's that their emotional state is tied to past experiences that have created a block in their ability to fully connect. These blocks are not always visible to the naked eye, but they are felt in the energy they emit and the actions they take or don't take. For example, if a man has unresolved emotional baggage from a past relationship where he was hurt or abandoned, those unresolved emotions will likely influence his current behavior, even if he desires a new connection. His body, conditioned by the trauma, may go into fight or flight mode in response to emotional intimacy, preventing him from reaching out or expressing his true feelings. This reaction is not intentional. It's the result of unconscious emotional patterns that have been locked into his energy field, shaping his actions without him even realizing it. Just as emotions shape our energy field, our habits, those unconscious behaviors we repeat day in and day out, also play a powerful role in how we interact with the world. Habits are the product of repeated actions, thoughts, and feelings that have been conditioned over time. They become automatic responses that govern much of our daily behavior, often without our conscious awareness. When we think about habits, we often focus on physical behaviors, like brushing our teeth, exercising, or eating. But habits extend far beyond the physical realm. Our emotional responses, our mental patterns, and even the way we perceive and react to the world around us are also habitual. These habits, shaped over years of experience, create deeply ingrained patterns that influence how we navigate life. For instance, someone who has been conditioned to respond to stress with anxiety or fear will, over time, develop a habitual emotional response. This automatic reaction to stress becomes so ingrained that it feels like a natural part of their being, even if it's not beneficial. Similarly, someone who has repeatedly suppressed their emotions due to past trauma might develop the habit of shutting down emotionally in any situation that feels vulnerable or uncomfortable. This habit becomes so ingrained that they may not even realize they are doing it until it manifests in the way they interact with others. Breaking these habits is not a simple task. Unconscious behaviors are often deeply rooted in the neural pathways of our brain, making them difficult to change. Just as the body becomes conditioned to a certain emotional response, the brain becomes conditioned to certain thoughts and reactions. The longer these habits persist, the more challenging they become to alter. However, with awareness and effort, it is possible to reprogram the mind and change these ingrained habits. So, how do we break free from these limiting emotional patterns and unconscious habits? How do we change the energy field that governs our actions, especially when those actions are not aligned with our true desires and intentions? The first step in reprogramming the mind is awareness. Becoming aware of the emotional patterns and energy frequencies that are influencing our behavior is critical. This awareness allows us to step out of automatic responses and recognize when we are reacting from an old emotional pattern or unconscious habit. Mindfulness and meditation are two powerful tools that can help us cultivate this awareness. By practicing mindfulness, we can observe our emotional states without judgment and begin to understand the underlying causes of our reactions. Meditation, on the other hand, allows us to connect with the present moment and create a sense of stillness and peace within our bodies. In this stillness, we can begin to access deeper layers of consciousness, where we can identify and release emotional blocks. Another powerful technique for shifting emotional patterns is visualization. Visualization allows us to mentally rehearse new ways of being, of responding to situations, and of interacting with others. By vividly imagining ourselves acting in alignment with our true desires and intentions, we can begin to rewire the neural pathways that govern our behavior. Visualization is a tool that bridges the gap between the conscious and unconscious mind, allowing us to create new patterns and energy frequencies that align with our highest potential. For individuals dealing with unresolved emotional baggage or trauma, emotional release techniques can be particularly transformative. These techniques allow us to consciously release the emotional energy that is stored in our bodies and energy fields. By letting go of these old emotions, we free ourselves from the limiting patterns that have been governing our behavior. There are many emotional release techniques available, including practices like breath work, EFT, emotional freedom technique, and guided emotional processing. Each of these methods allows us to access and release stored emotions, helping to shift the energy in our field. When we release past trauma and emotional wounds, we create space for new, more empowering energy to flow through us, aligning us with our desires and intentions. One of the most profound aspects of shifting emotional states and energy patterns is learning to be fully present in the now. In the quantum field, the present moment is where all possibilities converge. By focusing on the present moment, by truly being present, we can begin to shift our energy field and create new patterns that align with our desires. When we shift our energy in the now, we also shift the patterns that govern our future. In the quantum field, the past, present, and future are interconnected. Our emotional states and energy patterns influence not only the present but also the trajectory of our future. By changing our energy now, we can influence the way we experience the future, including our relationships, our career, and our overall well-being. At its core, emotional mastery is about understanding and transforming the emotional patterns that govern our lives. It's about taking control of our emotional states and consciously choosing how we want to show up in the world. When we master our emotions, we begin to align our energy with our desires, creating the space for positive transformation. For someone struggling with emotional distance or inaction in a relationship, the key is often to shift the emotional patterns that are blocking connection. This can be done through awareness, mindfulness, emotional release, and intentional energy work. By consciously working to shift our energy and emotional states, we create the possibility for new outcomes to emerge, outcomes that are aligned with our deepest desires and highest potential. Through the process of reprogramming the mind and transforming emotional habits, we create a new foundation for our lives, one that is built on conscious intention, emotional mastery, and the energy of alignment. In this space, anything is possible. Presence, the ability to truly be in the moment, is one of the most powerful tools for transforming your reality. In the quantum field, time is not linear. The past, present, and future are interconnected, and when we embrace the present moment, we break free from the limitations imposed by the past. This allows us to consciously choose our responses, actions, and the energy we bring into every situation, especially in relationships. When someone is stuck in the past, emotionally attached to old wounds, the act of being present can begin to change those patterns. By focusing on the now, they can shift their emotional state. Practices such as intentional emotional regulation, meditation, and mindfulness allow them to access the present moment, creating a fresh space to act and think from. This shift in energy can help them break free from the unconscious patterns that prevent them from moving forward, whether it's reaching out or feeling aligned with their true desires. In relationships, this means that if someone is holding on to past emotional patterns, the practice of being present can help shift those patterns. Through emotional regulation and mindfulness, the person can begin to feel more grounded and aligned with their true self. This not only affects their emotional state but also influences their energy field, potentially altering the dynamics of the relationship. You may wonder, can emotional energy really impact our biology? The answer is yes. Research into epigenetics has shown that our emotional states, through practices like mindfulness, emotional shifts, and meditation, can influence gene expression. In as little as a few days, these practices can activate genes that aid in tissue repair, stimulate brain cell growth, and suppress harmful processes like cancer cell growth. This means that when someone is trapped in negative emotional patterns, not only is their ability to act freely restricted, but their biological processes can also be hindered. By shifting their emotional energy, they not only improve their mental state but can also stimulate their body's natural ability to heal and regenerate. By embracing the present moment, we can transform not just our emotional patterns but also the trajectory of our lives. Presence allows us to release the old, limiting patterns that keep us stuck, creating space for healing, growth, and alignment with our true desires. When we focus on the now, we open ourselves up to the full potential of the quantum field, where all possibilities exist. This means that by being present, we can rewrite our past, shape our present, and create a new future, one that reflects our deepest desires and fullest potential.